No, Drake taking shots at Megan, huh? Want to talk a little bit about this recent news regarding the certified lover boy, Aubrey, wheelchair Jimmy, also known as Drake, taking some shots at Megan. Drake and 21 the other night, okay, they dropped their collab project, Shit's Hard. The project is titled Her Loss, and Drake on this one record titled Circle Loco said the following: I've been blowing through the money like it grow on trees. I've been fucking on a French bitch. I just put them on a jet, now they all Italian. Way I'm dressing till I've been to 1,000 islands. And then on this next line, this is the Megan Thee Stallion shot. This is what he says: this bitch lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion. She don't even get the joke, but she's still smiling. Some people have been bringing up the fact that he said shots, which means, you know, he's not talking about Megan Thee Stallion because he said shots as shots, which that could definitely be, but come on, Stallion, Megan Thee Stallion, I mean, this is definitely a shot at Megan Thee Stallion. And by the way, a stallion, the word itself, in the South, it means a tall, fine girl, usually thick from what I've heard. And Megan Thee Stallion, you know, that's exactly what she is. As you can see, if you're looking at the screen, if you're not, I feel sorry for you. We all know the whole Tory and Meg case that's currently ongoing. So that's obviously a reference to that. He's saying that Megan Thee Stallion is lying. That's what he's saying. On this other part, he says, Shorty says she graduated, she ain't learned enough. Play her album, track 1, K, I heard enough. Girl, the driver downstairs, better hurry up. That could definitely, and I think it is, a shot at the munch connoisseur, Ice Spice. We did of course see Ice Spice pop out at the 6 at the top of her blow up. She was spotted with the boy Jimmy, okay, sometime after that. Jimmy, Drake, unfollowed her, and now he said this. So I guess he wasn't feeling her after all, right? Ice Spice did put up this tweet right here as well, kind of responding to it, so, you know, I think it's about her. By the way, this could definitely be an additional shot at Meg as well. Let's talk about that, because Meg did end up responding on Twitter. This is what she said: I know I'm very popular, but y'all gotta stop attaching weak-ass conspiracy theories and bars to my name, LOL. Niggas, nor hoes, ever address me or at me with facts or receipts. I am clout. Bitch. Keep sucking my pussy. Someone responded to Meg and said, he said stallion though, so technically he did say your name. And then Meg responds by saying, a stallion is slang for a tall, thick woman. Told ya. On this other tweet, Meg says, stop using my shooting for a clout, bitch ass niggas. Since when the fuck is it cool to joke about women getting shot? You niggas, especially rap niggas, are lame. Ready to boycott buy shoes and clothes, but dogpile on black women when she say one of y'all homeboys abused her. On this other tweet, Meg says, and when the motherfucking facts come out, remember all y'all hoe ass favorite rappers that stood behind a nigga that shot a female. Meg continued by saying, people attack me, y'all go for it. I defend myself, now I'm doing too much. Every time it never ends, and this did not happen until I came out and said I got shot. Y'all don't fuck with me, okay, cool, fuck it, bye. Tory Lanez also came out the cut and put up an emoji, the shrug emoji, on Twitter. I want to get my take on this little situation. Let me start off by saying this. Best believe that Drake is not doing this for Tory Lanez, believe it or not. This is a very strategic and opportunistic move on Drake's end, and I'll uncover what exactly he's doing with that in a second. First, I want to say this. I think Tory Lanez should be excluded from this conversation because Drake is his own man. Drake did this on his own accord because, you know, in my 15 years of following Drake's career, I've never seen Drake pull a move that doesn't mainly benefit him. Drake is just very strategic with how he moves, so him getting in the middle of this is, you know, how that comes into play. Last year on September 3rd, 2021, Drake of course dropped Certified Lover Boy. This album, for anyone who still hasn't figured it out, this album was actually for women. The whole Certified Lover Boy theme was Drake strengthening the relationship he has with the women in his demographic, which is probably at this point the majority of Drake's audience. If I had to give a rough estimate, just from what I think and from what I've seen, probably 60-40, so 60% women and 40% men. The Certified Lover Boy cover, which is the wrapping paper if you will, the cover depicts 12 pregnant women of all shades, so Drake tried to be very inclusive with relating to his female audience. So from a business perspective, Drake takes the W, right? I think it should be obvious that's what Drake was doing with CLB, especially after that one line. You know which one? Say that you're a lesbian, girl, me too. That line still doesn't make any sense, but go off, miss. When it comes to this album, Her Loss, you know, he said what he said about Megan, right? Which we're going to touch on. But recognize that the reason why Drake said this, okay, and this is why he said this, he's tapping into his male audience, right? He's satisfying his male audience here. The connection is this, right? The majority of the people who are going to be behind what he said are men, because let's keep it real. This entire Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion story has essentially cut the cake in half, meaning women are in support of Meg, men are in support of Tory. It's only natural that this happened because we're talking about a story where a woman is alleging that a man shot her, Tory, so women are gonna be on the alleged victim side. Megan. Tory Lanez, on the other hand, is facing allegations of shooting Meg in the foot. Men are going to be inclined to stand with Tory because they think he could be innocent. Now here's where Drake comes in, because Drake is a very smart guy. And since Tory Lanez is a very smart guy as well, I'm sure Tory knows that Drake only did this to recruit that big demographic that's siding with Tory Lanez. Just based off of the strength of the title, all the guys, they're going to eat this shit up. And when I say that, I'm talking about the album title, Her Loss. He takes the shot at Meg, knowing what audience he's speaking to with that line. Also has some things to say about Ice Spice as well, so that's important too. Almost forgot, he did also throw a little shot at Serena Williams' husband. His name is Alexis Ohanian. He's a successful entrepreneur and investor. Regarding that, by the way, let's talk about that for a good couple minutes, because this particular diss right here actually exposes a lot as far as the marketing aspect of what Drake was trying to do with Her Loss and all these disses, right? It also gives us a little bit of context as to why he dissed Meg as well. So some backstory behind that little shot. For anyone who doesn't know, Drake was dating Serena Williams for a period of time back in 2015. They were spotted that year kissing at a restaurant. So I guess they had a little situationship, right? That little fling is obviously in the past now, since Serena is a happily married woman. Drake, she's happy. She loves her man. Leave the poor woman alone. This is what Drake said about Serena's husband though. Sidebar: Serena, your husband a groupie. He claimed we don't got a problem, but no boo. It's like you're coming for sushi. That shit was corny. We might pop up on him at will like Suzuki. Now Serena's husband responded to this on Twitter by saying his response was pretty classy if you ask me, by the way. This is what he said: the reason why I stay winning is because I'm relentless about being the absolute best at whatever I do, including being the best groupie for my wife and daughter. See, this man right here takes the damn W in my book. But Serena responded to the tweet with a smiling emoji with the hearts, you know, the one women use when they're in love and shit. See, that right there must have made Drake's blood boil. So Drake called Alexis a groupie. He responded by saying, shit, actually, I am a groupie for my wife. What's up? Along with this tweet, by the way, Alexis attached a picture of him sitting courtside, cheering on his wife as she's playing a game of tennis. That's actually him making fun of Drake, by the way, because there's a similar picture, which we're going to show in a second, of, you know, Drake sitting courtside, cheering on Serena as he's looking like a groupie himself. But we'll get to that. By the way, the reason why he doesn't take Drake's shot personal is because, you know, him and Serena, they're married. Drake and Serena, their situationship, it's in the past, right? So Alexis, he has no reason to feel threatened. And plus, there's no validity to what Drake said. He called a loving husband and father a groupie. If that's what a groupie is, then I guess he's calling all men on the damn planet who love their wives and their children groupies. You know how they say you clown a millionaire, joke's on you? Well, you clown a man who's in a happy relationship with a woman who reciprocates that love back to him a groupie when you're a single man? Joke's on you. Regarding that, by the way, can we stop this trend of calling men who love their wives groupies and simps? Seen a lot of that with Russell and Sierra, because Russell ain't on that toxic future shit, which that shit is immature. He's labeled as a simp. It's mostly men saying that shit, by the way. Same thing here. Joke's on you. Brother, clean up that Cheeto dust from your mouth before you say something about Russell. Unless your pockets are as deep as Russell's, which I highly doubt, there's nothing for you to make fun of here. Russell Williams is worth like, what, 200 million, by the way, and Alexis Ohanian is worth like 100 mil. If being a good man who embraces his family like he's supposed to, who's on top of that worth hundreds of millions of dollars, is a simp or a groupie, well, shit. Coach, put me in the fucking game. I'm trying to send it. And to be fair, Drake, what about this picture right here? Yeah, that's right. That's Drake sitting courtside cheering on Serena Williams as he's looking like a damn groupie. Just take a look at Drake's face, man. I mean, this is the definition of a groupie, not Russell Williams or Alexis Ohanian loving their families. Am I going hard? Pause. On Drake? Yes, I am, but it's cause all this shit that he just did. That shit's corny, man. But anyway, that aside, circling back to Meg, this is what's going on here, right? Drake made these comments about Meg because he knows that the same audience that's siding with Tory is most likely going to be the same audience that would listen to his album and support it. Also, the same audience who salutes Drake for calling a man who loves his wife and his family a groupie is the same audience who's going to listen to and support the album. You see what he did? It's actually genius, but here we are just breaking this shit down and seeing through Drake like a damn x-ray. So trust me when I say that it's not by mistake that Drake hopped in the middle of this. He's not doing Tory Lanez a solid out of the kindness of his heart, and like I said, Tory already knows that. He's not dumb. That aside, I also want to say this. I think Meg was big tripping when she said that Drake was using her name for clout. Wouldn't say that, but I would say that Drake used her as just another pawn in furthering his agenda. By the way, Nicki Minaj actually comes into play here. I haven't seen anybody mention that. Let's talk about that for a second. Drake loves Nicki with all his heart. I mean, shit, don't forget that line from Miss Me when he said, I love Nicki Minaj. I told her I admit it. I hope one day we get married just to say we fucking did it. And girl, I'm fucking serious. I'm with it if you with it, cause your verses turn me on and your pants are mighty fitted. Oh, damn, I love that song. Nicki and Meg, especially after Meg jumped on WAP after doing Hot Girl Summer with Nicki, they've been ops. So this not only benefits Drake himself, but it also benefits one of his people, Nicki. I could actually see Nicki, you know, possibly dropping a record with Drake maybe sometime next year, I don't know, where she might be taking some shots at the rap girlies. Imagine if Nicki Minaj drops a record with Drake, that goes #1, and she does exactly that. That would be essentially her revenge. Also want to add this in, since this is such a gritty project, I mean, Drake is rapping on this shit. He's talking about slaughter gang shit, murder gang shit. This line about Meg won't really affect Drake negatively because in contrast to what he's rapping about on his project with 21 and the fact that so many people are already siding with Tory Lanez, there's a lot for him to gain. The trial for this case is right around the corner, which also means Drake probably knows something we don't know, because essentially what he's saying with this line is Tory Lanez is innocent without outright saying it. Regarding that, by the way, I've always felt like Tory Lanez should at least be allowed to defend his position because he is facing some allegations which have yet not been confirmed to be true in the court of law. That's what a trial is for. Tory Lanez could be guilty, he could be innocent, I really don't know. But what I do know is that we will find out the truth no matter what happens. By the way, I really don't blame Meg for what she said. She has a right to feel some type of way about the fact that Drake is using his platform to speak on a case that's yet to be tried in the court of law. And whether or not Tory Lanez is guilty or innocent, I don't really think it matters, because here's the thing, let me elaborate. A lot of people might look at this and, you know, not think there's anything wrong with what he said. The way I look at it, Drake saying this is no different from saying that Tory Lanez is guilty, because we don't know that as well. So the fact that he's speaking on this publicly when the trial hasn't even started, that's not right. And from that angle, I'm siding with Meg, because keep in mind, Drake interjected himself in this situation out of nowhere. We've already clarified and spoken on why he did that, selfish reasons, but the fact that he did tells me a couple things. When I say this as well, if you call Drake a misogynist for this line about Meg, you're crazy. This is hip-hop. Things can sometimes get ugly, and sometimes even the women in the culture get a little bit of smoke their way. If you don't believe me, just ask Nicki Minaj, because how many times hasn't Nicki, okay, throughout this decade of her thriving in the industry as a woman in hip-hop, how many times hasn't she gotten smoke thrown her way by a lot of guys in the industry? Just ask her. If you're in the genre of hip-hop, it comes with the territory, even if you're a woman. No way around it. I do, however, find it kind of corny how Drake is, you know, jumping in the middle of this thing seemingly out of nowhere. Personally, I think Tory Lanez can handle his own weight. Speaking of Tory, this could be Drake speaking on the behalf of Tory Lanez, because if you guys don't know, Tory Lanez is not allowed to publicly speak about what's going on in the Meg shooting case. He has some kind of protection / gag order holding him back from speaking on it, and he did earlier this year through his legal team file a request asking to get that removed. It ended up getting denied. So that could of course be something else that comes into play. That aside, I do think this was corny on Drake's end. I mean, if a female rapper came out and dropped a bar about how Tory Lanez is guilty, I would keep the same energy for that as well. My logic would be, we don't know if he's guilty, so how about wait till the trial? Same thing here, we don't know if Tory Lanez is innocent, so let's wait for the trial. Like I said, keeping the same energy. This is an ongoing case. We're gonna find out the truth very soon anyway. I don't know who asked for Drake's piece on this, because I certainly didn't, and you probably didn't as well. Anyway, like this video before you leave. You made it this far. Come on now. Why you gotta play me like that? Leaving the video and not liking it. See, I didn't know I came here to be disrespected. Anyway, what do you think about what Drake said? Like I uncovered, this is obviously a very strategic move on Drake's part. He took some shots at Ice Spice, got in the middle of the whole Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion story. On top of that, he called Serena Williams' husband a groupie. We all know why he did that. Drake is mad he ain't with Serena. He did all this on an album titled Her Loss. Think about it. Drake is a marketing genius in anything he does, okay? It's never by mistake. Remember that.